To another video. I don't know if I'm going to make this a thing where I'm going to go live every Sunday. I'm just going to allow myself to go live as I see like I need to and whatnot. And yes, so the reason why I'm here right now is because I wanted to extend a message that I gave over to the Saiyonan Circle. And that message was essentially about how you are someone that draws wisdom and power from the underworld or from hell or from the shadow spaces. And I also feel like you are someone that is a light bringer. And when people are here to bring light, some people are there to bring light, but they gather the information and they gather the wisdom from places that people would not dare to touch. And I feel like there is an anointing over your life where you are called to deliver these messages, whether they are uncomfortable or whether they are, whether they make people kind of cringe, if that makes sense, or maybe it makes them want to jump, or maybe it makes them want to run away, right? For lack of better terms. But either way it goes, I feel like you're someone that is here to bridge the gap between the ethers, between the upper realms and the lower realms, and not in a way where you glamorize coming from a darker space, or not in a way where you glamorize coming from the shadows because it makes you different. If anything, you're just allowing people to understand their hardships. You allow people to understand, or you help them to understand why they went through so many tumultuous trials and tribulations in their life. And you give them language in a way that they couldn't even articulate. And that's what makes you fit for the job description, if that makes sense. I feel like your soul is here to bring light and to be this harbinger of light and liberation for people who are struggling to free themselves. And it's not an easy task. It's not an easy mission, especially because people are kind of reluctant to change. They're reluctant to listening to anything that makes them feel fear or afraid, or that makes them kind of question their behaviors or their or that makes them kind of want to question their habits and things like that. But either way it goes, I feel like you're being asked to speak up because this spiritual war that is going on, I feel like if anything, the reason why is because people don't love themselves enough to say, I choose otherwise. And this is not to say that everyone is like this, but there are some people who are still learning how to love themselves. There are people who are still learning how to decide that they are worthy enough to choose love over anything else. And I also feel like you're here to really set the record straight when it comes to, I don't know why I just heard the word priorities, but spiritual priorities are like people understanding that their spirituality, who they are, is imperative, but also not without bringing harsh truth. I feel like that because you do have here the obsidian knife, and with the obsidian knife, what comes up with this energy is a truth that is spoken regardless of how anyone feels. But the same way that this knife has the power to cut, or that the person utilizing the knife has the power to cut, why are you cutting? Are you cutting for the sake of liberation? Are you cutting with precision because you want to help to clean this wound, or to open up the wound so that medicine can enter or be administered? Or are you cutting because you want to destroy? So either way it goes, I feel like you are being called to be very intentional with the energy that you decide to show up with. And you're being called to really allow yourself to focus on your ability to deliver truth in a way that people just, maybe they need to hear it at that time. And I feel like I really want you to start trusting yourself, because the fact that you have the King of Wands here and the Sun, this to me represents someone that is going to shine regardless of who likes it and regardless who doesn't. And it's that kind of light that people are missing in their lives, but it doesn't come without truth. It doesn't come without honesty. It doesn't come without integrity. And I feel like you have a strong connection to the upper realms, but the reason why is because you know what it feels like to descend into a place that people are afraid to go in. And that's what makes you different along this path. And I feel that if you're someone, you're here because you're drawn to not only the mystery, you're not only drawn to readings, but you are coming home to a part of yourself that people have forgotten within themselves. And now that you're on this path of remembrance, you're allowing yourself to not only remember, but also to be the remembrance, or the energy that activates the remembrance within other people. So I want you to trust in what it is that you are here to do. And I want you to trust in the forces that are here to help you. Trust in your guides, trust in your ancestors, trust in the guides that are here to guide you, because you did not walk this path alone. I know that sometimes as humans, we believe, oh, I'm alone in this. I'm alone in this. No, You are never alone. It's impossible for you to be alone because there are forces outside of you that are always around you, even if you cannot see them. Your spiritual team is always there. So the feeling of loneliness may be present, but it doesn't mean that we are actually alone. What this means is that we have to figure some things out on our own. And because you've had to figure things out on your own, that's exactly what makes you qualified for the job, if that makes sense, because you already know you went to hell and came back with medicine. And now it's time for you to start to administer the medicine. It's not going to come out in the way that people like, and it's not going to come out in the way that people would glamorize, but that's what makes it even more potent and powerful, because you're coming from a truly authentic place, and not very many people can speak to that. And if you're here in this space, that's why you're drawn in, because you know that there is a truth that people are avoiding. But now you're here to be the harbinger of light that's going to help to shine a light on it. And I know that this has everything to do with that new moon total solar eclipse coming up on August 12th. I know it does. And I feel like you're feeling the energy early. But I want you to trust in the fact that you are here to bring light to people in ways that they need, not in a way that they would glamorize, not in a way that they would want, not in a way that makes it easy for them, but in a way that helps them to stand on their own 2 feet, in a way that helps them to stand in their own sovereignty. And sometimes that shit is uncomfortable. Sometimes that shit is not easy. It's not. And I'm someone that lived that. I've lived through it. So I know it. I know it because I live it and I embody it. People are not always equipped or ready to handle that kind of truth, but you are not here to pacify them. And I'm not saying it as people don't need the extra help. Yes, that's fine. People can receive help, but the way that you help them is by giving them the truth. And that is what you're here to do. If you are drawn to this space, then you are not afraid of anything in the depths. Why? Because you understand that these are only reflections of what is within you. And I feel like you're here to be that reflection. But in order for them to go up, they have to descend. They have to go under. They have to go beneath. They have to go within the depths of themselves. And you are someone that is here to help them see that within themselves. You are not here to avoid, and people can try to avoid it as much as they can. They can truly do that. But at the end of the day, is it really going to help them? They have to make that choice. They have to make that decision. But if they're coming into your field, they're going to know the truth. They have to, because sometimes the truth is so uncomfortable. But is the truth really uncomfortable, or is it the way that we respond because we don't like the way that it feels in our body, because we are rejecting something that we know that we need? And you're going to get people along your path that are going to be like the toddler that doesn't want to take the medicine that's going to help it get better. You're going to get people like that. And of course, you're not going to force it. But the reason why I'm saying this is because, for one, this is a channel. For two, because you do understand that regardless, but people are going to take it when they're ready. But it doesn't mean you change it. It means that you give them the medicine in a way that, yes, they can understand it, but also in a way that's authentic. And also, no, not everybody needs the same type of medicine. And you're multidimensional. So that's what it makes it even better, because you're multidimensional. You don't have to give the same medicine to the same people, to other people. You do what works, but you do it from a space of integrity, and you always do it from a space of truth. And warriors understand that. Leaders understand that. And you are here not to be passive. You're here because there is a part within yourself where you're awakening or remembering the leader within yourself. You don't need validation from an outside person. Although if you're coming here, maybe there is a resonance, and that's fine. But if you are here in my space, in the Saiyonan-verse, all I'm going to do is redirect you right back to yourself. I'm going to give you the tools that you would need or to help you. For example, the Ethereum, that is something that I use in order to work my own magic, but also to help me elevate myself, in order to help me expand my consciousness. And I give those tools to you to help you on your path of remembrance. Because at the end of the day, it's not to make you dependent, it's to help you so that you can go on and do the things that you need to do. And that is why you're here, right? Or maybe you're here because, or for other reasons, I don't know, right? All I can hope is that you remember that you are powerful, that you are a leader. You are the warrior that's here to help set things straight by being someone that brings the embodiment of truth. So speak it. You can write it if you want to. You can put it in a poem. You can dance it. You can sing it. You can script it. You can write it. You can paint it. You can, I don't know, do beatboxing with it. I really don't know. Maybe it comes out in the form of art, but either way it goes, you're not going to do it in a way that's going to make people comfortable. It's going to make them uncomfortable, but it's also going to help to draw them further into the human experience to see just how much alike we all are. How different we are, but just how much alike that we are. And that's the beauty and the power of what's happening with the node switching into Aquarius. We are all so different, and that's what makes us so similar. I think that my rant is over. I just needed to get this message out because I felt very passionate about giving it, because I felt very passionate about telling you how amazing you are and how you hold wisdom that people are. I'm telling you, you hold wisdom that people are afraid of. And that's okay. And I felt so passionate and deep within my heart to come on here and give you that message, because if no one told you, I'm telling you how powerful you are, how amazing you are, how brilliant you are, how radiant you are, how strong you are, how soft, sensitive, amazing you are. And you don't need that validation from nobody. You get it from yourself. I'm only here reflecting what is within you. That's it. I'm just the voice on your screen right now, letting you know who you are, reminding you and helping you to tap deeper into that sense of warrior within yourself. And the thing is, it's not even about you being at war. It's about you surrendering to love, because that's all that there is. And that is what I'm called to help you remember today. So thank you so much for listening to this message. I'm gonna sound dramatic. I don't think I could have lived with myself not going live today, because it was a message that I felt that I needed to bring. And I feel like now I understand why, because somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to hear that. I don't know who needed to hear it. I don't know. All I know is that I love you very much on this path. I'm here to help you in all the ways that I can. I'm here to give whatever messages that I need to give you. If we have to make this a thing where we go live, fine. Okay, that's great. I'll talk to spirit. But either way it goes, I'm devoted to helping my soul tribe, and this is the best way that I know how to help. Not only am I a tarot reader, I'm also a writer. I'm also a poet. I'm also a witch. I'm also someone that's becoming ordained soon. Why am I doing all this or saying all this? Because everything that I ever have will be to always help you. It is never going to be a self-serving thing. What's in it for me is that you get the help that you need. That's what's in it for me, is that you get the help that you need. That's it. Fame, that shit doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you get what you need. So if I spoke to one person today, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. If I spoke to one person, if I spoke to you, let me know down in the comments. That lets me know that I'm doing what I need to do. That's it. All I needed was one person to talk to today, and that was all. If you need anything from me, check me out in the, check out the, the bio, whatever. I'm sorry, I can't advertise because I feel like I don't want to advertise. You know where to find me if you go to my page. I'm not going to advertise anything to you because I don't feel like I need to do that. Just, maybe if you're new here, subscribe, become a part of the family, become a part of the tribe. That's it. But I will be showing my face soon, right? If you want to see my face, just go look at the other videos. You'll get a feel of my energy, my vibe, and all that good stuff. I love you so very much. Take care, and I will catch you in my next video.